Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be playing a crochet game. So full disclosure, I got this from Skein Spider. She's one of my favorite designers. I'm sure I've mentioned her before, but I actually subscribe to her Patreon, so I have access to her Frogs and Chains game that she has done. So I took the liberty to print out this cute little board. Like I'm kind of in love with this board, but totally her own original idea and not Snakes and Ladders. So I printed it out. I don't have the programs to be able to do it on my computer, so we printed it out. I've got a cute little mini cat figurine. This is what I'm going to use as my little marker on the board. So basically the way that we're going to play this game is that you roll a dice and you move that many squares. Then whatever square you land on is what kind of crochet challenge that you have to do. So there are 100 there are 100 different challenges on here. So there's going to be a lot to do, so we'll see how far we can get tonight. If you land on a frog, you have to go slide all the way back down. But if you land on a chain, work your way back up. So I thought this was super cute, and I did get permission to be able to play this game on my channel. So why don't we jump right in and get into today's game of Frogs and Chains. Okay, so we'll start by rolling a d6. Now in her original rules she used a d12, but I felt like with her game that she posted on her channel that it ended really quickly. So I think to make this last a little bit longer, we're going to go ahead and just use a d6 because I think that'll be a little bit more fun. So for our first roll, we get a 2. So 1, 2, and I landed on a chain. So we're going to climb all the way up, and we are on space 37. So challenge 37 is use a popcorn stitch somewhere in the pattern. So I'm just going to be using her mini octopus pattern for this. It's what she provided in the Patreon post with this. So why don't we go ahead and get started and make our first mini octopus. So my little octopus doesn't really look like an octopus. I feel like he looks more like a head of cauliflower. I don't think he's supposed to look like this. I think it's because I didn't use a stitch marker and I wasn't counting. I was going just a little fast. But yeah, so he's also missing a leg because he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 legs instead of 8. So I definitely lost count somewhere. I got a little overconfident. But I'm going to go grab a stitch marker and then we can move on to the next challenge. Okay. Stitch marker acquired. So let's roll the dice and see how many squares we have this time. Got a 4. So 1, oh, wrong direction. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are on challenge 41. Challenge 41. Ooh, I'll bring that into frame. Is a rest square. So stretch your back. So I think that one's pretty easy. So let's do some stretches. Okay, so I had to look this one up because I didn't know any good back stretches. So what I found that I can do just sitting here in the chair, I'm going to cross my leg over my left, take my right elbow and go over, brace it against the knee, and then we will stretch. Okay, there's one. And we'll do the other side, and we'll do this a couple times. So I won't make you sit here and watch the whole thing. Okay, so for our third roll, we got a 5. We went a little outside of the dice tray. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Land on square 46. So that is use a puff stitch somewhere in the pattern. So I'll just use a puff stitch instead of the popcorn stitch. Maybe I might do it somewhere else in the pattern, but we'll see. We'll use it somewhere. Okay, so this little octopus came out a little bit better. I realized what I did wrong in my first one. You notice he's a little flat? Yeah, that's because my brain for some reason just completely skipped over rows 4, 5, and 6. So yeah. Somehow this guy ended up with a 9th little tentacle instead of 8. So they can be friends, little deformed friends together. So yeah. That's challenge number 2. Complete. Okay. So for our third roll, we got another 4. So that takes us to 1, 2, 3, 4. Challenge 50. Challenge 50 says to have a cuppa. So she is Australian and I am not. So I'm going to assume that that means a cup of coffee. It's a little late in the evening for me to have a cup of coffee. So I'm just going to have a bottle of water instead. So I realized I said third challenge. This would actually be the 4th challenge. I forgot I had a stretch in there. But we've got 2 octopuses and 2 rest squares. So instead of a cuppa, we're going to go with a bottle of water. Hydrate or dihydrate. Now, I'm not going to chug this whole thing because I'm not going to make myself sick. But I will continue to drink this throughout the rest of this video. Okay, for our 5th challenge, we have a 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So going to our second challenge sheet here. 56. Shrink the pattern using any method. Well, I have something that we can definitely use to shrink down this pattern. So let me go get some smaller yarn. So to make this pattern smaller, I have what's actually baker's cotton. It was just a really thin cotton yarn that I thought was pretty that I picked up on clearance at Joann's. So let's get started and make a tiny octopus. Okay, so this little guy, definitely a lot smaller than the others. And this time he came out with 8 legs, or 8 little tentacles, whatever you want to call them. But for comparison, I mean, it's not that much smaller, but you can see it in the height for sure. But he's so tiny and little and cute. So, 3rd time's the charm. We got the right number of stitches. So, that is our 5th challenge, 6th challenge. Something like that. I don't remember at this point. But on to the next one. Okay, for our next challenge, we are moving 3. So 1, 2, 3. That is challenge 59. And that is ombre. So I'm going to go see if I can find an ombre yarn real quick. I'm sure I have one somewhere. And use that to make a mini octopus. All right, that was challenge 59 using ombre yarn. So I struggled to see the back loops where I was putting these little legs in. So we had to count back a couple times. But overall, he is probably the best one that I have made so far. Like, I am super pleased with him. So each time I make it, it gets a little bit better. But let's go to our next challenge. Our next challenge will be... Nope. He wanted to bounce out. We are moving up 4 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Challenge number 63. This says use ribbon or something like it. So let me see if I can go dig out some ribbon or something that's like ribbon. Okay, so I don't actually have wool, but I do have this. It's a recycled silk I got from Darn Good Yarn. This was years ago that I got this, and I've never used it. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to use this yarn. I'm going to call this wool adjacent and call it good enough. And we're going to make a little octopus out of this. All right. For our next challenge, we are going 3. 1, 2, and 3. To challenge number 69. And that one is from memory. I think at this point, I might be able to do it completely from memory. So I will close it down off of my computer and see what I can do. Okay, so from memory, he's missing a tentacle. He only has 7. But I think I did pretty good. I think I ended up doing an extra row of just full single crochet in there. So he's a little pointy. But he's kind of cute. I kind of really like him. I think he might be my favorite so far. I don't know what it is about him, but he's cute. So, time to move on to the next challenge. For our next roll, we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have challenge number 74. So challenge 74 says to use variegated yarn. Well, we've got some of that available, so we'll just go ahead and do that again. We are amassing quite the little army of octopuses here. Octopi? Yeah, I think that's it. But this one came out super cute. I really like this yarn. It makes me think of like a baby blanket. You can get it to focus there. You can kind of see the little speckles in there. But he's super cute. I really like him. I might end up, because I can still get in to the inside of it, I might end up actually putting safety eyes in him. So I haven't been putting safety eyes in any of them just because I didn't want to waste the resources, but I might actually put safety eyes in this one. So let's move on to our next round. All right, let's see. Are we gonna land on a frog? No, I don't think we'll land on one. I don't know. We'll see. We have a 3. 1, 2, 3. We are now on challenge 77, which is go for a walk. Well, I can't exactly go for a walk right now because it's going on like 10 o'clock at night. So we're going to hydrate again. Now, I'm getting close to finishing this water bottle. I will have this finished by the time this challenge is over. So, on to our next roll. For our next challenge, we roll a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are on challenge 81. Challenge 81 is massage your hands. So again, another rest challenge. I am quite okay with this because my hands are starting to cramp up a little bit. You can probably hear the cat. She's playing under the door. I think I've got some like bouncy balls. I like to use bouncy balls for like deep tissue massage in my hands, especially when they're starting to cramp up a little bit. I probably should have worn my compression gloves when doing this project. So let's kind of massage my fingers here a little bit. But yeah, normally I'd get like a bouncy ball and kind of like push hard and rub it on the table a little bit and kind of get deep into like where it really starts to kind of cramp up a little bit. But that's just one of those things that I found that works for me. I don't think I've seen anybody else do it before, but it's something that I've done before. So let me go grab that real quick and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I found one. It's quite old, but it's definitely a Halloween one. But it's kind of cracking a little bit. I can feel it cracking under a little bit of pressure. But what I'll do is well, it's not really going to work all that well. I need to get some new ones. I'm going to just kind of go back and forth. You can probably hear it cracking. These are kind of old. I've had them for a few years. It just wants to go all over the place. But I just push with just a little bit of pressure. And just kind of, no, then it's going to roll off the table. But yeah, that's basically what I would do is I just roll and kind of get like in there a little bit deeper. I find that really helps, especially when my hands start to hurt pretty good. So, but yeah, if you try it, let me know how it works for you. Okay, so for our next challenge, we rolled a 5. So that takes us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no! I've landed on a frog. And that's going to take me all the way back to challenge number 22. Challenge number 22 is use a 4mm hook. So I think I'm going to do this challenge and then I'm going to have to put a pause on this because it is getting rather late. So let me go get my 4mm hook and we'll make a little octopus and a 4mm hook. So it turns out I don't actually have a 4mm hook. So in spirit of the challenge, we're going to go smaller. See if I can get it to focus. I have a 3.75. So we are going to use that to crochet. So we have amassed a whole bunch of little octopus. Yeah. Landing on that frog really set me back. And if I want to get this video up on time, I'm going to have to call for the end of this video. In a couple days when I have some more time, I'm going to try and get all the way through the board. We're going to see how many times it takes, because I have a sneaking suspicion what's going to happen is I'm going to land on another frog and I'm going to drop back down to the beginning again. But it's all part of the game. So today we have gotten 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We have 8 little octopus. So we still have a lot more to go. I have a feeling that by the time that this challenge is over, I'm going to guesstimate that we're going to have 15 or 16 octopus, just based on how I've been rolling and getting knocked all the way to the front. Or back to the beginning. That one just kind of knocked the wind out of my sails a little bit. But again, it's all part of the game. So hopefully, if I've got the time, which I think I will coming up, I should be able to get this finished and have an extra video uploaded in time for next Friday. So we'll see if I can sprinkle an extra video in there. So, but this has been a blast so far. I am absolutely in love with this game. If there are any other crochet games out there that you guys have seen, I know Crochet Bingo is another one. And that's all I can think of off the top of my head. So you can't tell, it's late. I feel like I look exhausted. But yeah, so stay tuned and I'll see if I can get another video up for you to try and finish this game out. So I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.